Every single text, email, and piece of code you write depends on one discrete physical action, pressing a key. It is tempting to assume this interface was engineered in a corporate laboratory to make offices run faster or to help clerks process paperwork. But the mechanical keyboard was actually built for exactly one person, an Italian aristocrat who was losing her sight. The dominant physical interface that mediates almost all global communication today was engineered entirely to give a blind woman her privacy back. In the summer of 1808, Countess Carolina Fantoni de Fivizzano faced an isolating reality. As a noblewoman in Tuscany, personal letter writing was a vital social requirement, but her deteriorating vision made writing by hand impossible. She could dictate her correspondence to a scribe, but doing so meant a third party heard every single word. Intimate thoughts and confidential matters were completely exposed. Her close friend, the inventor Pellegrino Turri, quickly recognized that simply refining the traditional dip pen was entirely useless. A pen requires constant visual monitoring to manage ink flow and letter spacing. Turri abandoned the pen entirely. He built a machine where pressing a specific physical key would imprint a standardized character. To solve the ink problem without requiring Carolina to see a liquid inkwell, he coated a sheet of paper in dark pigment, inventing carbon paper. Because Carolina's constraint was absolute, she could not see, Turri couldn't make small incremental adjustments to the status quo. He had to invent a completely new way to translate human thought into text. Design amplification is a four-stage progression where solutions for severe constraints expand to broader markets. It starts at level 1 with the focal marginal user, like Carolina, but touch-based mechanisms didn't stay confined. It moved to level 2, other marginal users, bypassing other physical barriers. In 1865, Rasmus Malling Hansen developed the Hansen writing ball. As the principal of an institute for the deaf, he observed that his students could fingerspell far faster than anyone could write by hand. He mapped that ergonomic dexterity directly onto this 52-key brass hemisphere. A tool designed to bypass one sensory limitation proved highly adaptable at solving others. Then comes level 3, situational users. By the mid-1800s, industrialization was booming, and the extreme constraint shifted from a physical inability to a lack of speed. This chart compares the biological limits of the pen with the transcription demands of the modernizing office. A clerk writing by hand maxed out around 30 words per minute, but trained stenographers took down dictates at 130 words per minute. The office needed a mechanical intervention. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche perfectly illustrates the bridge between physical and situational needs. By 1881, his eyesight was failing, making prolonged writing physically agonizing. He bought one of Malling Hansen's writing balls. The tactile layout allowed him to continue working without straining his eyes. Because typing mechanically required brief, forceful strikes, his prose style shifted away from long, argumentative essays into the short, dense aphorisms he became famous for. A machine engineered for total blindness proved robust enough to solve the extreme demands of both a decaying physical sense and an accelerating global economy. Finally, the framework reaches level 4, mainstream users. When companies like Remington began mass-producing typewriters in the 1870s, they completely dropped the assistive origin story. They sold commercial value, speed, legibility, and uniformity. This commercial positioning created massive socioeconomic impacts. The typist role emerged, opening doors for women to enter the corporate workforce in huge numbers. This era locked in the QWERTY key arrangement, the exact layout sitting underneath your thumbs right now. And Pellegrino Turri's other invention, carbon paper, became the default method for duplicating documents globally for over a century. Every time you CC an email, you use a linguistic fossil for carbon copy, a direct callback to a tool made for a blind countess. The technology became so universally essential that its origins as a bespoke medical accommodation were completely overwritten by its commercial success. The logic of those early handcrafted 19th century typing contraptions dictates how we interact with nearly every piece of digital software today. When you design a product for the theoretical average user, you usually end up with a minor optimization. You get a slightly better pen. To force a true mechanical leap, you have to look at the boundaries. The next piece of universally indispensable technology is likely waiting. in a customer segment most people are entirely ignoring.